You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything.
Some
I'm
people open up
reflecting
their
in.
eyes and see the world they know outside. I can close my eyes and see all that and way beyond. When these trials of life come heavy and these obstacles get hard, feeling like I need some answers, I just go and talk to God. I just go and talk to God when I'm looking for guidance. Me more than sight, need vision, need direction when I'm blinded. And I start that conversation with that voice I hear inside me. And the conversation starts with a voice inside that sounds just like me when I talk to God.
See God in anything
When I talk to God.
find God in anything.
When I talk to
You
God.
can see God in anything.
When I talk to
I
God.
can find God in anything.
When I talk to God.
See God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in.
My daddy said, don't ever assume, ask questions. It's ironic it was that advice that helped this song happen. It was also that advice that led me to my life's blessings. That same advice helped me make it through life's lessons. It was that advice that separates grown-ups away from children. That advice can be the difference from knowing or just believing. It was that advice that brought the gavel down on my decision of breaking the mental chains of this man created religions. It's faith and belief, nonsense, the biggest scam ever. I hate to say it, I swear this one hell of a mental illness. We don't believe no other time. Why we do it with these religions? The fact that COVID's killing while all of these guys is missing. A lot of hide and seek and peekaboos. Guys playing games with you. I'ma just assume he ain't got no COVID miracles. Maybe he ran out after making the donkey talk, or them stories about a guy walking on water tides. This is simply a distraction to keep you away from you and to look outside for a guy when the God is inside of you. When you close your eyes at night to pray to that voice you talking to, when you ready to face the truth, you realize that voice is you.
You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in.
What up? What up? What up, family? How y'all doing? Welcome back to another installment of The Voice of Eli. Yep. So, we've been talking about this all week about believers versus non believers. Why all the fighting? And in order to do that, we kind of started off trying to nail down a few things. I don't know if we were ever able to do that, but a few different things have come up. And one of the points I think that was really good to me, it's like sometimes being very stern with people, to say it nicely, can actually help. Okay, can actually help. Um, Chief Collie was on earlier, just kind of giving a recap. He was on earlier this week, and he was actually able to help somebody wake up out of the delusions that are in religion, based on how he was talking. You know, they were actually shocked to be talked to that way. That, which also can bring up another topic when talking about religion. It's like us people, period, have this enormous, inordinate, I'm gonna say, respect for these beliefs when they don't really deserve that. Number one, because this stuff is not based on reality. Number two, look at the track record and the disrespectful things that religion has done. Oh, and you can argue all day as a Christian, well, that's not the true interpretation. Well, they were wrong for that. That's another problem. This doctrine, well, not this doctrine, but this Bible that you all believe to be the inerrant word of a deity. This Bible is open to many interpretations. Oh, what's up, family? Let me see what they got there. Greetings, everyone. What's up, Christine Williams? Thanks. I like the video. No, Neo, you not late. And Neo, you got the link. I know. You got the link. I emailed it, but I can do it again if I need to. So And yeah, family, unless I get somebody in here, I'm just gonna do basically a recap. I know y'all at the end of the day, some of y'all gotta go celebrate your Easter. I'm not really talking about that, but if you Willie Cartwright just did a video. I caught the last few minutes of it. So go to the channel, Save to Sane, with Mr. Willie Cartwright, and we can pick back up on the things that he had to say concerning Easter. But yeah, going back into all the infighting, some of the reason that you're going to have this is number one. Some people ask, well, why do Christians even bother? Proselytizing. Why do they even bother bringing this stuff to us? Because it's not just a belief you can just believe in and go about your day. They are actually told in what's called the Great Commission, just in case you didn't know or don't remember as a Christian. Matthew, I think it's 28 and 20. Yeah, Matthew 28. And down through about verse 19 and 20, that's called the Great Commission. They are told to go into all the world, preach the gospel to every creature. So they've got to preach it to everybody. Not only that, if you look at First Peter chapter 3 and around verse 15, they're taught to be ready to give an answer for the reason of the hope that's within you. All Christians can't really do that because they don't really study their Bible, but they are told. So this is why, as long as you all are Christians, when I say you all in that context, are believing this stuff, they will, continue to try to grow. Otherwise, if they don't grow, if they don't continue it, I think that's another thing that they recognize too. It's kind of like getting your genes into the next generation. When I say genes, I'm talking about biology. Because if everybody goes away, okay, and then they were to rediscover this thing called the Bible or whatever, if no Christians or nobody existed, think about it. Nobody would believe this stuff. We believe this stuff, and it has such a foothold, especially in the melanated community. It has such a foothold because it was given to us by those we trust, those we love, and the people that take care of us, which is exactly what mammals do. We depend on our those who brought us in, our parents. That's what all mammals basically have to do. So that's why we believe it. That's why we believe it. But if we were to take it all out, and by the way, the good news, I'm calling it good news. The good news is that religion is in the decline. Now, simply me saying something like that the good news is that religion is in decline, that can be offensive to a believer. But it's a fact, it's true. And maybe they would be upset because I said that's good news. That is good news because as long as that's in decline or even going into decline, even better, it shows that people are waking up. And the fact that we live in an information age, there are at least some people refusing to remain ignorant. It seems to me, though, that those of us who were in religion and can't come out of it were usually the ones who really, really studied the Bible. I've heard this said in different circles and on different videos. The best way, and I'm not claiming to be an atheist or whatever, and even if I was, that was okay. But I've heard it said that the best way to make somebody an atheist or either have them not believe in God is to have them actually read and study the Bible. Because when you go through it, it just does not fit, doesn't make sense. That's the mission, to get your money and keep you confused. Absolutely. We see this all the time, Christine. Get the money. And I can say that about getting the money. Now, let me say this real quick. Every pastor ain't getting paid, y'all. Every pastor ain't got that bank. I'll go this way for a minute because I noticed on the non-believing side, you can have a tendency to generalize a lot, and you think every pastor is a certain way. Not maybe you don't really think that, but that's kind of how it comes off sometimes. but a whole lot of them do know better. They are a whole lot of swindlers and stuff like that out there, and just trying to get your bread. For instance, like uh, when I say not everybody has big money, that money that was in the collection plate on Sunday when I was a pastor, that money was not, and I'm gonna say it this way, exclusively for me, or not exclusively for me to even say what needed to happen. I just could look at the offering. I knew what portion of it was my check. I did know that, you know, but I digress. I digress. Let's see. I know got a cold. Let me just wait to see who pops it. Oh, Neo, Neo was saying, "Oh, Neo, hope you feel better." My bad, sis. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having fun. What's up, Texas Goddess? We are definitely doing okay down here. For greetings to all, I bring you greetings from Jacksonville, Florida. What's up, Melanated Greatness? Yep, bring you greetings also from Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I am, Duval, all day. So yeah, going back to what I was saying and them getting upset. So they are told they gotta proselytize y'all. They gotta bring us. But what's happening in today's time, they are encountering a much more informed population. Okay, no long. It's not the believers like we showed in the video. It was a video that Kali had me show earlier this week. And religion used to be the bully. Historically, religion is the bully. Religion, you better believe it. If you don't believe us, and well, God's gonna get you, God gonna do something in the latter, you're gonna go to hell. You know what I'm saying? And they use the unknown to scare you. You got to do this or that. So that was the bullying that was going on. But now people are learning intellectual self defense. I'm going to say that again. There's something called intellectual self defense where you go and you learn. Oh, just learn a few things. Just investigate what you are being told, okay, about a certain thing being the truth. Now, it doesn't take long in religion to smell what the problem is, because inevitably they're going to talk about knowing something that can't be known, and they're going to sound like they know it for sure. Like this ain't nothing but the truth. But you will know it's a thing that really can't be known. What are you talking about, Eli? I'm talking about something like death, death, so to speak. After death, what happens after death? You do not know. Nobody knows. Nobody sucking up air right now knows totally what's going to be when they die. The best example I can give is whatever was going on before you were conceived, that's what you will know. That's the best example. Whatever was going on before you existed will be happening after you don't exist, whatever that is. So that's something that you ought to know when you're listening to people and they start talking about something that they couldn't possibly know, like they really know. That's time to take your intellectual defense fighting stance. That's when you start that's when you start asking questions about what they're saying. Now, we live in a day and a time. The reason why I'm talking about whether or not it offends people, because we live in a day, and this is not just even with religion. If you question anything, it's like people are offended because you ask a question, because they insinuate, well, you must be thinking this or that when you ask a question. Now, I will admit, in these conversations, yeah, a lot of times I'm thinking it's going to go a certain way, but people in general are doing this, and this is why we can't have the conversation. That's why I saw fit to do what I'm doing, and hopefully provide a platform where I feel like people are comfortable coming in here and talking about different things. By the way, while I'm speaking of that and I'm thinking about it, y'all want to be here Monday night, this coming Monday night. We're gonna have a bit of a different show. Now, I only have that one show next week on Monday night. The rest of the week, I'm gonna take off. I'm trying to, figure some things out. But Monday night show, I plan to have Mr. Willie Cartwright on and have a back and forth with Mr. Robert Ash. You may remember him. So Robert Ash is a Christian apologist, and Mr. Willie Cartwright is the author of the book From Saved to Sane, and he came out of religion, and he has a YouTube channel from Saved to Sane, and they're going to be having a discussion. I'm calling it a discussion, but they would definitely be on two different sides of the fence, and this will bring it to the lay people. This will bring it to the people in the pew, because to the Christians out there that watch my shows, see my shows, some of y'all feel it, some of y'all go and investigate. Others of y'all, since we talking about being mean, I'm gonna get this. No, I can't give this example because the person no, but it's actually Christians out here talking bad about me. And you say, how do you know? Well, I know it's through a source, a trusted source. If you get to trust some so-called eyewitnesses that weren't eyewitnesses, that were written by some people you don't know 2,000 years ago, I think I can trust my source that's telling me. It's actually Christians out here talking bad about me, about what I'm doing. And and when I say bad, I don't just mean God to get you kind of thing. Mean like, putting a how do I say this? Just straight up insulting, you know what I'm saying? Like if I heard it, it'd be fighting words, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, Christians, don't think that you're innocent. Now, I know you want to be an individual, and we talk about the individual Christians. I'm talking about as a whole. We're looking at this thing as a whole, believers as a whole, non-believers as a whole. Because I consider myself a very nice unbeliever, but I do know some that are not so nice. And I don't really get them a lot of time on the show, on both sides. So, you know what I'm saying? I think we need to be able to come together and keep these conversations going. Also, let me see. I was trying to see if Richie was going to come in here tonight, because I was waiting to hopefully get some questions. What's up, Marco? I see the comments. Yes, I will be there. The games all here. Awesome. Peace, family. Hope all. What up, Marco? Oh, Bruce. What up, Bruce? Bruce, you got the link to, if you wanted to put in 2 cents. We just closing out the topic tonight, y'all, on believers versus non-believers. The other thing that believers really see, and we talked about it a little bit, they don't want you to talk. Believers just want you to since you don't believe anymore, go away. Go away. Don't say anything. Why are you doing a whole show? They tell me, oh, this is God, you doing all this time to fight a God you don't even believe is real. No, I'm not doing all this to fight a God that I don't believe is real. I'm doing all this to get my people to think about what they are saying, to think about what it is you are believing, to start critically evaluating not just a lot of things, and evaluate all of it, especially this religion stuff. When you consider, if you know what, let's do a little math. I hadn't even thought about doing this until now. If you consider, let's consider this thing. Let's consider 10% your income, right? Let's consider 10%, a person giving 10% per check. Let's say you get paid every 2 weeks, and let's say that's been for the last 10 years. I'm just going, and you giving pretty, you're giving pretty good. Let's say you make $1,500 every 2 weeks, right? Now, the way I taught, and the way that I believe the Bible is teaching it, it's not dealing with all the taxes and stuff. So listen, some people give out of the net. We were taught to give out of the gross. So just because Uncle Sam took his, yeah, you let Caesars have Caesars, but you still got to give God his 10%, not out of what's left after Uncle Sam get his, but that gross number. So let's just say you gross $1,500 every 2 weeks, and you've been, let's see what this is going to come out to. So You got that on 10%. That's $150, right? That's just every 2 weeks. We'll do every 2 weeks. So let's see here. Let's see. 52. What about that? All right. So every 2 weeks, that's 26 weeks, $150. Okay, so that's $3,900 for the year that you done gave to this congregation. I'm just doing this. It's simple. Maybe some believers never actually looked at the numbers, because sometimes it does help just knowing and looking at the numbers. So if you make $1,500 and you get paid every 2 weeks, that's 26 paid periods a year, right? And you give 10% of that, that's $3,900 a year, if my math is right. And you do this for 10 years. Now, let's say you had that in savings. That's very honest. You realize that's $39,000. That's $39,000 coming from that one person over a period of 10 years. That's 39,000. Now, imagine the position same person would have been in had they taken $150. Probably could have taken a lot more, but you take $150 out of each paycheck and doing something else with that. At the end of 10 years, if you had been a good steward, you would have more than 40,000. Why you say more than? Because I say good steward. If you had done just some basic, investing, not even real level investing, just some basic stuff, you would have more than $39,000. But when you giving it away to the church, you have nothing. By the way, the reason the churches are hurting, because COVID showed it all. Christians, y'all out here either I think there are more non-believers in the church than we know. There are more non-believers in the church than we know. I'm missing some comments. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, Texas Goddess. She said she gave 15%, because they used to teach, right? You want to go above and beyond. You don't want to be right at 10%. So a lot of us, and I'm with you, a lot of us gave more than 10%. I was cool as long as mine exceeded 10%. I was cool, because I was working off of that ridiculous scripture that's what it say, except your righteousness exceed that of the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, you shall in no wise enter, or something say like that. I could look it up, but y'all know the text that I'm talking about, and that was from a misunderstanding of scripture. Now, I didn't teach that while I was preaching, but I did come up under some people who taught that. It's probably still some of them teach that foolishness. Facts are turtle wins it. What up, boys? Man, Dre, I ain't heard from you in a bit. Man, did you, man, these Dre, these stocks, man, look, this thing looking, it's good, bro. You're gonna have to holler at your boy. Let me see. Down payment on a new on a new rental. On a new rental, what? Henry, on a new rental. That guilt trip is scripture. Absolutely, because he believed that you owe this. Okay. It's if you really love that God, if you really love and appreciate what Jesus did for you, you go and you do this. And I don't mean to shift the conversation. I am not a financial advisor. I don't know anything, but I do believe that you got to get you some mentors, some people you can actually contact. You'll average of the 5 people you hang around. And I'm gonna say this: if you don't know any yet, that's cool. But do this, make it a do. I'm probably about to change this whole thing. Listen, if you got 5 friends and none of them are millionaires, you need to go out and get a millionaire friend. Okay, somebody you can bounce this stuff off. All of us trying to get there, know nobody who could do it. So I've been trying to make sure I get some millionaire friends for the past 2-3 years now. Okay, I got 3. I got 3 that I can call, get advice, and call at any time. All right. This is important, y'all. I know that ain't what this is about, but I'm taking every opportunity to tell my folk, y'all, we gotta make some changes. And y'all go look up 2053. The year 2053. Y'all just go look that up. I ain't got time to really deal with it. Okay, what else we got? Down payment on a new, absolutely. Oh, rental property. Yeah, Henry, for them to rent out and make some more income. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we could easily do this, but it's things like this. The church that is in our way, y'all. It's really in our way. Somebody sent me something. Charles, I don't know if you in the chat. Charles Gatlin, thanks, man. You know what you did. I just wanted to say thanks to you live. Appreciate you, bro. And two, got off track. What was I saying, y'all? Anyway, going back to the rudeness and things of that nature, the bigotry. Now, this is probably the last thing I want to talk about, unless y'all bring something up and it jogs my mind about. But I did have this. I was looking into bigotry a little while ago, and I've been saying this all week. To the believer, you come off as like for sure. Now, but in the same breath, you're telling the unbeliever they don't know the mind of God. So when you, Christian, that claims to know something that the rest of us don't, and you tell the non-believer, well, you don't know the mind of God, that insinuates that suggests to me, oh, you do. You must know because of how you're speaking to the non-believer. Because if you don't know, then that would be you saying you don't know, and you would have no position at all. You would have no position, no leg to stand on. But it's like Christians can't do that. It's kind of like the God of the gaps feeling that you get. When I say God of the gaps, I mean because we as humans may not know how something happened or don't know something, therefore God. So whatever the gap is, you just put God in there. That's what we mean by God of the gaps. Let me see. Melanated greatness. He said, are there any events or gatherings for spiritually conscious melanated greatness? And you're on YouTube. Find me on Facebook. It's funny you should say that because me and my lady, we've been talking about doing that. Like here, like for real. We gonna link up. Melanated. So link up with me somehow. I do this. I'm gonna put my email in the chat. And if y'all want to link up on other things too, y'all can use this email for that. Get in touch with me and we can link up that way. Second type it. Y'all ever be going it seemed like things are like syncing up, just a lot going on. I've been listening a lot what's going on with the petrol dollar and all that kind of stuff in the news. It's a lot of things syncing up. So I don't know. Melanated, please get with me because I really want to see if we can organize something like that. And I also gonna be talking with the Bishop. Bishop be on here. Broadenax Bishop. If I said your last name wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get that right before the show though. But yeah, so Bishop does something out in his state, and I'm trying to figure out get information from different people who have either already done it or get some ideas. Because I really got to rethink how it's going to be done, how it's going to work for those that want to at least have that interaction and come together like that. So Melanated, please use my email, get in touch with me, and let's bounce some ideas around. And we right here, we in Duval together, so we might as well be linking up. And it's it's a couple other people here I know that are not too far. Neo was actually in the city. I don't know if she'll be in the city much longer, but she was here. So yeah. Y'all link up with your boy. What was bigotry. So the thing about the bigotry, And then, oh, by the way, if y'all gonna come on, this is a good time to come on because your boy about to cut out. It's 7:30. I'm a cut out. But bigotry, you talk Christians, you talk like you know everything. Okay. And when you're talking like this, you sound no different than the bigots, or when you talk as if you're up here in your knowledge, okay, and they are not. What really gets me about that is because you will have the same Christians. I've had this happen. The same Christians that I taught, okay, the ones that don't know and don't read, I know who you know who you are. They were taught by me. Now all of a sudden, I don't know what I'm talking about. Rather, the first thing that would occur to me if my teacher taught me something and then went the other way, be the first thing, maybe I'm just different. I want to know what did that? What did they come into? If the teacher didn't go slap crazy or nothing like that, ain't in the mental institute, they not crazy, but maybe that's it. Some Christians really do think I'm crazy. I got family members who think because I believe what I believe right now, or I don't believe the lack thereof, I'm crazy. But listen, the thing is, this total freakishness of religion, y'all, has gotten us at each other's necks. It's cool to have the conversation, but we want to start having the conversation so we can actually get somewhere, right? Get somewhere and understand each other. You know what I'm saying? If it help you be a better person, that's one thing. But I'm here to say you don't need religion for morality to be a. Let me say why I say that. Most melanated folk will sit up there and tell you that slavery is wrong. Slavery has always been wrong. It's morally reprehensible. Slavery is bad. Owning another human being is not good. It is immoral. And the key is they will say it always has been. And then they'll tell the non-believer that you can't know what morals are because you have no objective moral standard out there. They have a Bible, they have something outside of themselves, and they believe it's the creator that has a right to. They have something outside of themselves telling them what moral is, what right and wrong is. Follow me. These are the same people that say slavery has always been wrong, morally reprehensible. And so I asked them this same question then. If it's morally reprehensible and wrong, then why did your God choose to regulate slavery rather than just say, don't do it? Don't do it. Now, the answers that we usually get back, oh, it was a cultural thing of the day, and because it was a cultural thing of the day, he needed to ease the people into it. That ain't that ain't divine. That ain't God like. We would say that on this side, that ain't boss like. What the heck he look like? I'm just gonna ease in this. We're gonna make it's gonna be slavery, but it's gonna be a nicer slavery. What is that? So what I said all that to say, your God doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. We find so many mistakes in this book, not because your God messed up, but because it was written by some men who made a mistake and they could not foresee all the things that we now know. They didn't know what we know now about certain things and that certain our cosmology and where we are. They didn't know certain things and they could not see where it was going. When I say they couldn't see where it was going, to them, that area of the world, if you look at the Bible, everything happens in one little like square. There's pictures that we have up like so many hundred square miles. That one little section, little speck of earth is where all the events of the Bible basically take place. But this is a huge, huge earth, right? So what I say that they could not foresee what would happen when they said the whole world and go into all the world, it was talking about the Mediterranean. When he said every eye was gonna see him and all that, it was talking about people right there. They didn't know nothing about the natives down in Brazil somewhere and the people all through the continent of Africa and Australia. They would never get to see, some of them would never get to see Australia in their lifetimes. Okay. Some of us don't get to see it. So what make you think they was gonna get there? They didn't get there. So I'm saying that to say that's why they make mistakes, and that's why the doctrines, it's expired, y'all. The reason science works, they try to use science to say, oh yeah, see, they said this 50 years ago in science, and now they finding this out. Well, that's good, because then science gets to come back and it gets to improve itself, it gets to revamp itself, because science is not a god, and nobody is claiming that science is a god. The problem religion has is that if you're claiming a consciousness, a all-knowing, all-powerful God is overseeing all of this stuff, therefore there should be no improvement needed. We need no improvement, right? All right, let me see this comment here. The minute ex-Christians, I'll put it on screen. The minute ex-Christians start following the logic, then start questioning things, you have lost your mind rather than you have found the truth about the lies they once did. That is so true, Christine. It's like soon as you ask the right questions or whatnot, or say something that they didn't think about, you off, you crazy. And the more I get that, I notice they usually either don't understand the point I'm making, or it's so foreign to them, and you have such a belief. And I think one day we're gonna have to really get in here. I really wish if y'all know any people that do like psychotherapy, I would love to talk to like a psychologist or something on how our brains protect us from things once we've built or while building a worldview, or once that worldview is built in our heads. So yeah, but it's like once you do that, everybody think you done automatically lost it. Now you're able to ask questions. And there's things, Christine, I was saying on the last show, there were questions I can ask now looking into religion that I could not, I would have never even thought of. I just would have never even thought of. I think I was sharing that with Neo when we was on that last show. One of the things that I said, Christine, was if you look at the story, all right, maybe I'll try to get out of here after this. If you look at the story, Christine, you may be familiar. There's a story in the book of Luke, okay, about Jesus praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he took 3 guys with him. He took Peter, James, and John with him. Now, Luke is going to say a lot, okay, about this prayer. Remember, go to the beginning of the book of Luke, chapter 1, read the first, I think it's like 4 verses, but in no more than the first 4. Luke is going to basically tell you, I did an investigation to write what I'm writing. Other people wrote, and I'm writing to you, O Theophilus, to give you a more perfect or what he believed is very accurate information. So Luke was not an eyewitness. He was not there. He was not one of the 12, but he's writing about it. This scene gets me, y'all. This is so profound for me, because I never thought to ask this question until after I had came out. So Jesus takes Peter, James, and John with him. They stop. Then Luke says, I think it's Luke, one of the Bible writers say he goes a stone's throw away. I think Luke does say he goes off away from them and he starts praying. The other 3 that Jesus brought with him fell asleep. Not only that, now Luke said he did an investigation, right? Luke knew what Jesus said in his prayer. Luke even said that his sweat became, as it were, great drops of blood. And we get preachers preaching about hemohydrosis and all these sermons, because I preach one. Here's the thing, y'all. how you not even a contemporary. You weren't even one of the 12. You weren't even one of the 3. What are you doing talking about his sweat and his was like blood? How would you know that, Luke? How would you know that? And here's the contradiction in it. And well, here's what would be the issue to the Christian that immediately said, because God gave it to him through divine God can give it to him and let him know that's what Jesus was going to. To the Christian that would say that, remember what happened in chapter 1. God could have just gave him the whole story. Luke didn't have to do no investigation. God could have just gave him the whole perfect story. And we also wouldn't need 3 other gospel writers if we had that. So just, that's the type of thinking you do when you're able to come out of the box. All right. Let me see here. Y'all have some comments and I'm about to go. Let me see what the comments say. I've been told by a Christian that I was a danger to myself for just stating my perspective of the Bible. Absolutely, Kenny. These are the type of beliefs that we facing, y'all. And that comment shows how they think. Now to them, they think that, oh, that's what they should say because they believe. That can be an insulting statement to the believers, just in case you believers didn't know. And believer, if you don't see that statement as offensive, then that goes to show you how insensitive you are and how indoctrinated you might even be. All right. Hello. What up, D? Christians are taught to never question God or the Bible. Absolutely. No question. And you know what was crazy about that is when I did have a congregation, and the older people would say that, and one of the reasons they like my teaching is I would tell them things. I was like, well, if you can't question God, then how you gonna get the answer? I used to tell my congregation, God is the one with the answer, so that's who you need to be asking the questions. That's what I used to say. But I don't know. Maybe that was just too far off for them. A thinking person is always a danger to religion. I'm gonna that go back to what Kenny had said. Where was her comment? Try to show them side by side. Yep. And told that she was a danger to herself. And Christine said, yeah, danger to any religion too. So that being said, family, y'all know what it is. Y'all see how you can support, but at the same time, I'm coming back on Monday, and we're gonna take the rest of the days off. So Tuesday and Thursday next week, no show, but Monday we are planning on having a show as long as everybody's in good health, things go well. It's going to be a little bit of a different show. And keep in mind, you come on back because we are going to have some fire shows coming up. With that being said, I'm going to get ready to take it to the bridge. All right, y'all. Peace and love.
You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything
Some
I'm
people open
reflecting
up their
in.
eyes and see the world they know outside. I can close my eyes and see all that and way beyond. When these trials of life come heavy and these obstacles get hard, feeling like I need some answers, I just go and talk to God. I just go and talk to God when I'm looking for guidance. Need more insight, need vision, need direction when I'm blinded. Then I start that conversation with that voice I hear inside me. And the conversation starts with a voice inside that sounds just like me when I talk to God.
See God in anything
When I talk to God.
find God in anything.
When I talk to
You
God.
can see God in anything.
When I talk to
I
God.
can find God in anything.
When I talk to God.
See God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in.
My daddy said, don't ever assume, ask questions. It's ironic, it was that advice that helped this song happen. It was also that advice that led me to my life's blessings. That same advice helped me make it through life's lessons. It was that advice that separates grown-ups away from children. That advice can be the difference from knowing or just believing. It was that advice that brought the gavel down on my decision of breaking the mental chains of this man created religions. His faith and belief, nonsense, the biggest scam ever. I hate to say it, I swear this one hell of a mental illness. We don't believe no other time. Why we do it with these religions? The fact that COVID's killing while all of these guys is missing. A lot of hide and seek and peek and booze. Guys playing games with you. I'ma just assume he ain't got no COVID miracles. Maybe he ran out after making the donkey talk, or them stories about a guy walking on water tides. This is simply a distraction to keep you away from you and to look outside for a guy when the God is inside of you. When you close your eyes at night to pray to that voice you talking to, when you ready to face the truth, you realize that voice is you.
You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in. You can see God in anything your reflections in. I can find God in anything I'm reflecting in.